So I'm finally having some time to edit the vlog, and I've basically done like 2 weeks into one just because I really have not had the time to make a vlog last week. I'm compressing them into one. Lacked a bit of updates because, to be honest, there isn't that much to report, and I also just I've not had the time. But I think it's important to still, put the vlogs together to keep track. So this one, I apologise in advance, is going to be very messy, and I also lost some footage, so it won't be every single day, but I've tried my best. So I hope you enjoy this slightly chaotic update of the last 2 weeks of the rehab, and let's go. So I had my first session with the new physio today. It was really different to what I've been doing in France because she was a lot more violent, like pressing really hard on the scar. But it was also pretty interesting because she could see things that my other physio sort of hadn't really noticed. So especially like my shoulder and my neck, like the bad posture and tightness in there. So she did some dry needling, which is like a type of acupuncture, but that's a bit more like violent, which I've responded well to in the past. She also showed me like a pec stretch I need to do. And just massage my forearm, my triceps, which were like so tight. It was really painful. I was a bit worried that she kind of was massaging kind of too violently, but seemed to have responded pretty well to it today. And I'm going back in tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. Little scar update. She's not looking too cute, is she? But whatever. Got to trust the process. So yeah, I'll update you tomorrow. So I had physio again this morning, and she like dry needled around the scar. You can see that little blue bit, tiny little blue bit is where the needle went. At one point she put the needle like literally into the nerve because it was the most painful thing ever. I like screamed, and she was like, oh my god, whoops, let me readjust that. I was like, yeah. But it was kind of bleeding quite a lot, but I always get this with dry needling around the elbow. Hopefully that will help with if there's scar tissue there. Like dry needling helps remove tension, but also it helps to calm the nervous system, when you're not putting the needle directly into the nerve. She massaged my neck and my shoulders, which are like so tight. It's really bad. My posture's got awful since the surgery. But no, it was good. I got a much better vibe from the physio today. I'm just gonna keep doing the things I've been doing, like the scar massage, the movements, the TENS, being patient. Honestly, that's all I can do at this point, which is, it's frustrating. I wish I could do more, but hopefully, bit by bit, we're gonna start to get less pain, more function, and yeah, I feel like I'm in good hands now. So I've got a little bit of a range of motion update on my arm. So basically, look at that, almost straight. This kind of hurts, so I'm not gonna force it, but basically almost getting full extension, which is really good. It still feels quite stiff like for most of the day, but already to think that like 11 days ago, like I couldn't really get my arm past this. Like this is really big progress, so I know it will continue in that direction, and I've just got to be patient. So that's good. Pain-wise, burning-wise, there's not really any improvement still since the surgery. And I'm trying not to panic about that and just keep doing the things I need to do in physio and the TENS as well several times a day. So yeah, that's today's update. So for the last few days, my scar has been really swollen. Actually, it's not the scar, it's just the tissue around where the surgery was. A big lump here. It's actually a bit better tonight than this morning, but you can sort of see it when I fold that this sort of sticks out. And I've had a bit more pain recently, so I don't know if it's the physio change that's done that or doing too much TENS. I have no idea. Either way, today I didn't do any TENS. And I've started taking the anti-inflammatories again just to calm down some of that pain, which has started to help already. So I'm hoping for a bit more improvement in the next few days because this swelling is a bit worrying, like 2 months after the surgery. But yeah, pretty sure it's just linked to changing physios and doing something a bit more aggressive. So starting from tomorrow, I'll be working like 14-hour days. So I'm using the weekend to like batch cook because I want to make sure that I'm still eating well even when really busy. So what I've done is I've literally almost spent the whole weekend just cooking, but I've made quite a lot of pasta in advance. So I'm putting it in Tupperware, and then this is like the rest of it. I'm also cooking vegetables in advance, so I've got a whole lot of broccoli, asparagus, I've made some chicken, I've baked some salmon, and then there's way more in the fridge. Got some eggs for the morning. I've made lots of vegetables in here. I have got rice in here. It's not very interesting, but yeah. This is more salmon, and I still need to cook a few more things. So a bit of an update. I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little Tupperwares, and I don't have any more Tupperware, so that will have to do for the time being. But I've got a ton of rice still, ton of veg, and yeah, broccoli, and I've basically bought like canned tuna and also some like pre-cooked little chicken breast pieces, so that I can just open on the day and add to the Tupperwares. But yeah, I'm absolutely exhausted. I've been cooking like all day, but hopefully it will pay off and help me save time during like really busy weeks, especially the mornings where I have physio, because I'll have to be up super early. So yeah. These last few days have been a bit mixed because my pain's been quite a lot worse, and obviously like that worries me because, you know, it's hard to, when you have strong pain, to think, you know, everything's fine, stuff's healing. I instantly think something's gone wrong, and then I challenge that thought and I think, well, yeah, like you've been using your arm more, that doesn't mean that everything's, you know, going wrong, like it's probably just a bit too intense. And that calms me down a bit. I'm also not sleeping enough, which doesn't help. Anyways, the good thing is that my arm is basically like fully extended now, and I'm kind of just using it without really thinking about it anymore. Like even for things, you know, like washing my hair or like holding things, like I'm using my right arm a lot more, which is a really good sign, because even sort of 10 days ago, like that would have been completely out of the question. So yeah, I just wanted to show you the extension I can get on my arm now. So the best way for you to see it is probably from the side. So look at that. It's just basically like pretty straight, isn't it? Almost. Which is very exciting. There's still some stiffness, but honestly it feels like, yeah, extension wise it's just making more and more progress. So hopefully like the pain will subside in the next few days. The TENS is definitely helping with that, and obviously taking anti-inflammatories. But yeah, I've got physio again tomorrow morning. I am going to tell them to go a lot easier, because I was in a lot of pain after the last sessions I did. So yeah, nice and early wake up tomorrow, so I'm gonna head to bed. Good night. So physio this morning went really well, because basically it was at the same clinic but with a different one. So I'm seeing 2 different physios at the same place, just because that's the only availabilities they had. And he really brought like fresh eyes to the whole situation, because he kind of just looked at my grip strength and like wrist range of motion, and he was basically just like, this is pretty bad. And he said it's been more than 6 weeks since the surgery, so all the sort of healing has done, so there's nothing wrong with trying to strengthen again. He said actually it will help to prevent more scar tissue, to actually strengthen and move the wrist. So he's given me quite a lot of movements to do, and each of them it's a minute 5 times a day. I'll show you videos of it later when I get back. But it's quite positive, because it's just a big like change, and he's just spotted a lot of problems, like problems in the sense that like restricted range of motion,
and things like that. Like, not that anything's gone wrong, but more that if we don't address them now, it's going to delay the rehab. So it's going to be getting more range of motion in the wrist. He was actually saying that, you know, if the wrist is very stiff and restricted, then that kind of squashes the nerve even more and can worsen the pain I'm having in the wrist. And actually that's something I never really considered after my first surgery, so it's kind of exciting to have a slightly different avenue to go down. And he told me that I need to massage the scar a lot harder than I have been. And he also was like, well, you know, working on the neck and the shoulders does help, but if you're not actually dealing with the wrist first, then, you know, it's not really going to be as beneficial. He also wants me to gain more range of motion in the elbow extension, so he's given me exercises to do that. What I really liked as well was that he kept on saying, well, right, we're going to devise a plan to see progress over the weeks and to like give you exercise to do at home, which I really like because I'm such a planner. I like to sort of have that structure. So I'm really happy with how it went. We'll see how the arm sort of responds to that because it's quite intense movement. I'm not sure I'm going to do the 5 times a day like immediately. I'll probably build it up. But yeah, we'll see. It's exciting to have a bit of a different like approach. So yeah, I'll show you the videos later, but gotta work.
So the good news is that the new physio movements don't seem to be significantly worsening the pain, so hopefully you can keep doing them every day without too many problems. I'm going back in tomorrow anyway, so yeah, we'll see. But I'm basically fully extending my arm now, which is exciting. Using my hand day to day. Obviously still can't really carry things, but yeah, making slow progress. Pain wise, not great still, like but I know that will take time. And I'm off to bed because I'm absolutely exhausted. Just had physio and basically massage and dry needling, which was much needed, but it's always a bit painful, especially around the neck. But yeah, no, that was nice. Just going to be continuing with those movements like 5 times a day. It's a bit scary sometimes with the dry needling because you can kind of get an electric shock sensation when they put the needle in, and sometimes I'm like not sure if that's like safe or normal because it's happened both times I've seen this physio, but it's never happened in the past when I've had it done, so I'm like a little bit paranoid that's like damaged another nerve. But I think it'll be okay because I can still use my arm with like no limitations, like in terms of the other nerves that I'm scared will have been hurt. So I think if a nerve had been damaged, I would be in constant pain and unable to move it. So I'm just sitting here doing my 10s. Not the most practical of things, but at least I can use my other hand while I do it. I feel like I'm able to use my arm more and more. There's some progress for sure. And still pain, obviously, but I don't know. I feel good. I'm okay with being patient and waiting. And yeah, that range is there. I'll be seeing the surgeon in just under 2 weeks again. And I have no idea what he's gonna say, but hopefully he can, you know, tell me the stuff I need to do from now on, maybe more strengthening, like to feel like I can progress more. I filmed the physio exercises that I've been doing, but my phone was all weird and just randomly deleted the video. So I will have to film that again tomorrow when I do the movements again. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, that's it for today, not much to update. Been slacking a bit with the 10s last few days because I can't be bothered to do it as often as I should because the electrodes are a bit fiddly, so I need to get back on that. But yeah, that's it. So I've been speaking to a new physio in France and he wants me to try something called like neuromotor reprogramming. So I just had to translate that in my head. It doesn't sound quite so good in English. And the whole concept, it's kind of like the visualization that I was talking about in one of my first videos, but it's like he wants me to visualize myself, first of all, doing bending and extending the elbow, like using the wrist. And then he wants me to visualize myself without a right arm. So I was like, what is this? Like, how does that make sense? But I think the point is that it tries to like get your brain to stop sending pain signals to that side. So a bit iffy on this. Like, I don't really know how to work. He hasn't given me that much detail, but this is something I'm going to be trying in the next week to see how it goes.